let's take an example. What is mentioned here? Software Limited is considering a new project on which initial investment is rupees 3 lakhs. Forecasted cash flow after depreciation and tax. Cash flow after depreciation and tax are as follows. It is mentioned here. First year is 50,000 rupees, second year is 60,000, third year is 80,000, fourth year is 90,000, and fifth year is 1 lakh rupees. Considering cost of capital is 10%. Cost of capital, that is, as I said, that the approach of time value of money. Okay, to give the impact of time value of money, we have to use one particular factor which is commonly known as present value factor. Now the rate, what I told earlier, the rate is mentioned here, that is 10%. Here we are going to plot 10%, we are going to consider 10% present value rate, or that cost of capital is also considered as a discounting factor. Cost of capital is 10% and applicable tax, it is also provided to us 40%. Whenever you are going to solve any question of capital budgeting, first of all, the important part is what phase of cash flow is provided to us. At first, we have to judge that one. We have to consider that part. What exact phase of cash flow is provided to us? Here it is mentioned cash flow after depreciation and tax. That means you have to look again at income statement. If you look at that income statement, cash flow after depreciation and tax. This is earning before depreciation and tax, after depreciation, after tax. That means here it is provided as PAT, because it is mentioned cash flow after depreciation and tax. That means that cash flow is provided to us what? PAT. What is the full form of PAT? Full form of PAT is profit after tax. Now the question is that cash flow is none other than, we just consider that this is what? PAT. PAT is provided to us. Tax rate, cost of capital, PAT, all such things are available to us. And we know our initial investment is how much? 3 lakh rupees. 3 lakh rupees is our initial investment. This is how much? This is right now understandable. Our initial investment, we know that is how much? 3 lakh rupees. Now, what is the formula of NPV? The formula of NPV is total PV of CFAT, total present value of CFAT minus initial investment. Now, first we have to calculate CFAT. Okay, look at the formula also, look at the income statement also. Since you know, since PAT is provided to us, with that PAT, once we sum up depreciations for each and every year, we can get cash flow after tax of each and every year. Now we should start with PAT. Our first one should be depreciations, and we try to reach PAT at first. Now, calculation of NPV, net present value. On right hand side, I am going to calculate. First column is year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 consecutive years are available along with their cash flow. Cash flow, instead of cash flow, I must prefer to write here PAT, that is profit after tax, which I have already been discussed. At first year, our PAT is 50,000 rupees, second year 60,000 rupees, third year it is 80,000, fourth year PAT is 90,000, and fifth year our PAT is 1 lakh rupees. Year and PAT we got. We always try to give a symbol at the top. This is column A and PAT column is column B. Year and PAT we have calculated. Again, you have to concentrate on your income statement. The formula itself represents total present value of CFAT. We are at the point of PAT. Then first we should target to reach CFAT. Then what procedure we should follow? With that PAT we are going to add what? Depreciation. Then our next column should be depreciation column. Depreciation. Okay, this is titled as column C. This particular column titled as column C. Now the question is how to get the depreciation. So you can follow here a note. On the basis of that, you can count your depreciation. Say in that note, I am going to calculate depreciations. Depreciations per annum. If nothing is mentioned regarding depreciations, the formula is cost divided by lifetime. As what is the cost of the project? Cost represented initial investment. Investment is rupees 3 lakhs. And what is the lifetime of the project? It is clearly understandable. The figure available here for how many years? 5 years. Then 3 lakhs divided by 5 years. You are getting a depreciation of 60,000 here. Our annual depreciation is how much? 60,000. Now we are going to plot 60,000, which is uniform at each and every year. Our depreciation figure which we got, that is 60,000. Now PAT and depreciation we got. Once we got PAT and depreciation, if we sum up these two, we can get what? CFAT. Now the next column is CFAT column. The full form of CFAT is cash flow after tax. This is column D according to our calculation. Now PAT plus depreciations. 50,000 plus 60,000. Our CFAT comes to 1,10,000. Then our amount of CFAT is 1,10,000 at first year. At second year, 60 plus 60. It should be 1,20,000. At third year, 80 plus 60. It is 1,40,000. At fourth year, 90,000 plus 60,000. It is 1,50,000. At fifth year, 1 lakh plus 60,000. It is 1,60,000. Now that we can get CFAT of each and every year. At first year, 1,10,000. Second year, 1,20,000. Third year, 1,40,000. Fourth year, 1,50,000. And fifth year, we got 1,60,000. CFAT we got. Now we have to multiply that CFAT. We have to multiply that CFAT with that cost of capital or PV factor or discounting factor. Next column should be PV factor. Okay, PV at the rate of 10%. Present value at the rate of 10%. Okay, this is our column E. Now 10%, the first PV factor is 0.909, the second one is 0.826, third year 0.751, fourth year 0.683, and fifth year is 0.621. This is the PV factor that we have to plot here. Now CFAT we have to multiply with the respective PV factor in each and every year, and we can manage to get the PV of CFAT. Then in short I can write here this column PV of CFAT. Okay, this is column F, and how to get that PV of CFAT? It is as simple as that, D into E. Once you multiply D into E, you get that CFAT column, PV of CFAT for each and every year. Now let me calculate that. At first year, 1,10,000 into 0.909, it will come 99990. It is 99,900, 990. What does it mean? At the end of first year, it is normally available 1,10,000, but when we are going to apply time value of money, and when we are going to discount our CFAT or cash flow after tax, that 1,10,000 is ultimately impact us 99,990. For second year, 1,20,000 into 0.826, you are getting 99,120 rupees, almost similar. Normally CFAT is available here 1,20,000, but when we are going to apply time value of money and we discounted that figure of CFAT, that 1,20,000 which we are going to achieve after 2 years, for today it is actual impact us for 99,120 rupees. That means that 1,20,000 which the project is going to earn at the end of second year, in respect of today, it gives us the ultimate real value is 99,120 rupees. At third year, our CFAT is 1,40,000 normally, but when we are going to apply the discounting factor or time value of money, that figure will appear only 1,05,140 rupees. Just try to understand. 1,40,000 multiplying by 751, we are getting a figure of 1,05,140. At the end of fourth year, here our CFAT is shown 1,50,000. But when we are going going to apply time value of money 1,50,000 and we are going to multiply by 0.683. It is 1,02,450 only. Just compare 1,50,000 and 1,02,450. At the end of 5th year it is 1,60,000. But when we are going to discount it with time value of money or discounting factor, then it will provide us only 99,360 rupees. 99,360. This is the real value which the project can achieve for us. What CFT we are getting, this is without considering discounting factor, without considering the time value of money. But this column is showing us when you consider time value of money, depending upon the return of the market right now, which is considered as 10%, the value change massive. At the end of 5th year, it is expecting that the project can be achieved 1,60,000, but when we discounted that figure, it comes even below 1 lakh rupees, only 99,360. Now look at the calculations. Look at the formula again. Total present value of CFT. ER and PAT is provided to us. We add depreciation with PAT. We can get that CFT. We apply discounting factor for each and every year with that projected CFT, and we can get that PV of CFT. The CFT column we can also express as B plus C. We need to make a total of that CFT column, and we can get total PV of CFT. Now let's make a total of CFT column. It is having a total of 50660. 50660. It comes a total of 5,06,060 rupees. Now we got the total PV of CFT. This is the total column. This is, we can say, a total of PV of CFT column. Now what is the formula of NPV? We can apply here the formula of NPV, that is total PV of CFT minus initial investment. Total PV of CFT is 5,06,060 rupees minus initial investment. Initial investment was how much? 3 lakhs rupees. Okay, now the total return of the project is how much? Now the total return of the project is 2,06,060 rupees according to the question. Now the logic behind NPV. Once we got a positive NPV, that means we are going to accept the project. Sometime what happened to alternative projects provided to us, by applying the similar technique, we are going to calculate the NPV of these two projects, and the project which provide us higher NPV, that project we are going to accept. If it is asking in the question which project we are going to accept, in that case we have to give that kind of decisions. Profitability index. It is very simple to calculate. That is why I won't separately discuss for PI. It's remain almost the same calculations. The formula of PI is total PV of CFT by initial investment. The formula is total PV of CFT by initial investment. It is an index sort of representation. Your total PV of CFT is 506,060 divided by 3 lakhs. Now calculate 506,060 divided by your initial investment 3 lakhs. You are getting here 1.68. 1.68. In that case also we are going to accept that particular project. In case of NPV, we need to follow the logic of positive and negative. If it is asking in a question either we are going to accept the project or not, the formula which you follow in between positive or negative, either the NPV will come positive or negative. In case of PI, the concept is if PI is greater than 1, then we accept. If PI is less than 1, then we reject. That is the logic. If PI is greater than 1, then we are going to accept the project. If PI is less than 1, in that case we are going to reject the project. This kind of logic basically we are going to apply for giving the decisions based on NPV and profitability index.